Hello, this is Sammy Schwab. Welcome to the SSKN. And here today I have RossTucker, and I'm going to be interviewing him and asking him a few questions. Okay, Ross, first, tell me about your career.
Well, I was really fortunate to be able to go to Princeton and play in college. When I got the chance to, through football, get a chance to go to a school like that, I was happy. I felt like football had given me everything that I had put into it and already paid off. And then, much to my surprise, I was able to make the Redskins as an undrafted free agent in 2001 with Marty Schottenheimer. What's crazy, Sammy, is that it seemed like every year my coach got fired. I mean, at the end of that first year, Marty Schottenheimer said to me, "I can see you maybe starting next year." I said, "Awesome." I think like 2 days later, he got fired. Steve Spurrier came in. Midway through the next year, I got released, picked up on waivers by the Cowboys the next day. So here I am. I grew up a big Eagles fan, and I go from being a Redskin to a Cowboy, and then I'm playing against my rivals. Started the last 7 games in 02. 03 and 04 were my best 2 years. I played for the Buffalo Bills, started a bunch of games, got a contract extension. Unfortunately, in 04, I had a big playing time bonus. And so that is good, and I got it, but I played with a herniated disc in my back. Had to have surgery in the offseason. Buffalo ended up cutting me. So the rest of 05, I was out of the league for a while. I got picked up by the Patriots for the rest of the year. Re-signed there.
How many games did you play for them?
2. One was a playoff game. We lost to the Broncos in the playoffs. And then 06, they actually traded me to Cleveland. I got cut. I don't even talk about that. And then 07, I went back to the Redskins. I hurt my neck, and that was it. So I was kind of your classic journeyman, but it was an awesome job for my 20s. It was great.
Which jersey would you say is your favorite out of all 4?
I'm gonna go. I think with the Buffalo Bills. I think maybe just because it's sentimental to me.
Yeah.
You know, Cowboys is cool. Redskins is cool, but I think the Bills, just because I was number 65, which was my number in college.
That's cool.
And that's the one team where people will say to me, "Hey Ross, we love what you did for us, man. You're one of the best guards we have." Which, by the way, is not true, but they say that to me, which is cool.
Okay, what would you say is the most unique or memorable moment you had in either your NFL, college, or high school career?
In the NFL, in 2002, midway through the season, I got cut by the Redskins, and I got picked up the next day on waivers by the Cowboys. 3 weeks later, I was starting on Thanksgiving Day for the Cowboys against the Redskins. So picture like any team you're on. I know you play a bunch of different sports. Picture being on a team, and midway through, the coach is like, "Sorry, Sammy, we don't need you anymore." And the next day, the rival team signs you, and 3 weeks later, you're playing against all your buddies. I mean, these are my teammates for a year and a half. Now I'm out there trying to kill them. And Thanksgiving, everybody watches that game.
Yeah, you don't want to do bad.
I mean, Thanksgiving, everybody. And what was so cool about that is the next day was my 5th-year high school class reunion. Really? So I played on Thanksgiving Day. The next morning, I flew back to Philly, went home, and that night, I walked into my 5th-year high school class reunion, which is like, I highly recommend, if you can do it, Sammy, be an NFL starting player on Thanksgiving the day before your 5th-year high school reunion. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Next, who was the most famous player you ever played with?
Well, probably Brady, Tom Brady with the Patriots, although I never got in a regular season game when he was actually in. I never blocked for him. But Tom Brady's Tom Brady. But in terms of the guy that was actually behind me is Emmitt Smith. You know,
really?
I mean,
how many years did you block for him?
2002 season, the last 7 games. In fact, you know how I was telling you that the Redskins cut me and I went to the Cowboys the next day? My first game with the Redskins, Emmitt broke the all-time rushing record. So there were all kinds of cameras and people there. I thought, wow, playing for the Cowboys is different. Yeah. You know, I mean, playing for the Cowboys, I didn't realize a lot of that was because Emmitt was going to break the record that day. Yeah. But it was cool because I have pictures that I signed for people. It's right there where I'm blocking. The guy behind me is the all-time leading rusher in the NFL. It's pretty cool. And I actually have a decent relationship with Emmitt, and I'm mad we didn't get him 1,000 yards that year. He had a long streak of like 12 years in a row, 1,000 yards.
Really?
And we finished at like 980 or something, which stunk. We were not very good, unfortunately.
What was the funniest thing a fan ever yelled at you?
Oh man, I don't know about. I can't think of fans yelling stuff at me. I can think of players that said stuff to me. I can
Okay.
think of.
What was the funniest
I remember
thing?
trying to block Warren Sapp in a preseason game, and it was the third preseason game, and he beat me and hit our quarterback Shane Matthews, who was playing for the Redskins in 02.
Yeah.
And he just whispered in my ear as he walked back to the huddle, "You can't block me, son." I was young. It was only my second year. And the other thing I remember is in 04, we're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers in the last game,
Yeah.
playing for Buffalo, and they were 14-1. They clinched number one
Wow.
seed. So I knew the starters weren't going to play that long.
Yeah.
And after a play, I said to Joey Porter, I said, "Joey, how long you guys playing today?" And he looked at me and he said, "Long enough to kick your ass." I just thought, hey, he's still playing hard. You know, he's not going to play the whole game. And they got the number one seed clinched, but
Yeah.
he still had that mindset of long enough to kick your ass, which I
Yeah.
thought was a pretty good answer.
That's pretty funny. When did you decide that you wanted to play football? And did you ever think you were going to be an offensive lineman?
I knew I wanted to play football from when I was 4 years old, and my mom and dad took me to a Penn State game.
Was it like a great experience?
That's the first thing I remember. Like if
Really?
someone says, "What's the first thing you really remember in your life?" I remember going to Beaver Stadium at Penn State, seeing the green grass, the uniforms, and just thinking, "That's what I want to do. That's what I want to be."
Really?
But my mom and dad wouldn't let me play till sixth grade, so I
Really?
played soccer until I was 12, and then started to play football. So, and I used to go to high school game. Like I can't emphasize enough. Like I loved my high school team.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to play for them. And, you know, my dad's 5'9", 170 pounds.
Really?
So I never knew that I'd be 6'5" and 330 pounds someday. I really just wanted to be the best I could, having no idea what that would end up, you know, taking me.
Okay, I asked Eric Dickerson this also, but what do you think the ugliest helmet in the NFL is?
He said the Bengals, right?
Yeah, or the Browns.
Browns pretty bad.
Yeah,
Browns
just
pretty bad.
plain-
Although what's sad is that Browns helmet is the same helmet I had at Princeton.
Really?
Like the orange pumpkin head one, my
Uh-huh.
freshman year. Then we switched it. I actually like the
I
Bengals
like the
helmet.
Bengals. Yeah,
I like the
think
Bengals
it's cool.
uniforms. I think the
Uh-huh.
Bengals uniforms are sweet. Jaguars.
You don't like theirs?
What is up with the yellow on the back?
Oh yeah.
It looks
for
like
their
it looks like their
legs.
normal helmet had baby diarrhea on the back of its head. Like, what is that? I don't like it. Jaguars for sure.
Ball on the 2-yard line, down 5 points. 2 seconds left in the Super Bowl. You can run one play. Who do you hand the ball off to?
I'm running ISO, and I'm running it with Emmitt Smith.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you why, Sammy. When I played with him back in 2002,
Yeah.
he's small and he was slow,
Really?
and he still got yards somehow.
Mm-hmm.
He was small, he was slow. Our offensive line stunk. And I graded out the highest in 6 out of the 7 games to tell you how bad our offensive line was. And he still always found a way to get yards. He had an unbelievable, and
Really?
Willis McGahee had it too, unbelievable ability to just kind of slither and find a way to get a couple yards.
Yeah.
So I'd say Emmitt.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Anytime. You're doing an unbelievable job with this.
Thank you. Okay, that's SSKN and Schwab out.